do a lot of introducing. Did y'all just introduce somebody that was going to introduce somebody that was going to introduce me? That what y'all just did? And just to, this has turned into a corporate gig. So can I just say something, y'all? Listen, you all in corporate America, when you do things like this, when you introduce, you're supposed to wait till the end of the introduction to introduce the person. Because if you say the person name first, you kill it. There ain't no hype. You gotta hype the dude that's coming out. And you say all that's about him, then you say his name, then everybody burst into applause. Y'all got this all wrong. And the president announcing all these people and hold your applause. I want my applause. When you say my name, I want you to clap when you hear my name. Y'all done went to school, y'all got all these titles, y'all got all this education, PhDs, masters, MBs, and all this, man. I want all that. I want to get a hand clap when you say my name. Don't stand me up in no pack of people. And then we all get the same damn round of applause. That ain't. I just wanted to say that. Because I want to talk in the mic. Standing behind the podium is not my thing. I'm in this business for 30 years and ain't nowhere to walk out front, so I'll just do it. I'll make it work. First of all, I really, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you all for having me. I said it earlier today, but I'm always honored when people think enough of me to invite me to speak to people like yourself. I mean, most of you, practically all of you, are far more educated than I am. I admire people who can complete an education and get degrees. I flunked out of college. I don't have a degree, But I got plenty of money, but I flipped it, but it wasn't easy. I'll tell you that. It sure wasn't easy. So I admire people who have education and work in corporate America and have titles. I really do. I really respect that. I want you to know that from the bottom of my heart, that I'm very impressed with a lot of you. I met some really nice people today. So congratulations to all of you that have climbed the corporate ladder in education, banking, finance, whatever you're in, politics. I think that's fabulous. I spoke to a group of students earlier, which is my passion, is young boys and girls, and so now I didn't really know that this was going to be like as many top-level officials and people like yourself, but my message don't change. When I'm speaking to you today, I don't care about proper grammar and stuff. That's not my thing. That's not how I earn my living. I make my money making people laugh. Now, along the way, I've made a complete mess of my life, but through this thing called grace that God has, God's grace has allowed me to survive it all somehow. And I think there's a lot of people in this room that know what I'm talking about. So as I talk to you today about success, I cannot help but intertwine faith in there. So if you don't really care for the faith piece, you ain't gonna really care for me. Because I cannot tell you how I made it without telling you about God or the principles. Every principle of success, it comes from God Almighty. It's in whatever religious reading you read. That's not my business what you believe in. You just got to believe in something. I told a group earlier, I don't care what you call God. You can call God Allah, Jehovah, Yahweh. You can call him whatever you want to call him. Just call him, though. It's not in my business what you call him. I don't care. But I cannot stand here and talk to you about my road to success. I cannot inspire these young people that I tried to get to earlier today and not intertwine faith. So I'm sorry if that ain't your thing, but y'all done paid me now, so here I am. I got the money wired to my account, so here it is. Take a deep breath. I tell people all the time, and I was talking to young people, and what I try to get people to understand is I don't care who you are in this room. If you got to a place in your life where you felt like, life should have been more for you, or you're trying to figure your life out, there's one simple way to get it done. God, when he created all of us, he never created an individual without bestowing a gift in them. And God put that gift in all of us. Some of you are gifted in teaching, networking, counseling, sharing, life-saving. Some of you are caretakers, but you're gifted. If you work in your gift, you now find your purpose in life, a real meaning for waking up in the morning. A lot of people, you know people that get up and go to work in the morning, they just miserable. They hate driving to work. They hate their job. They hate their coworkers because they ain't doing what they want to do with their life. Now, that's not your fault. That's their fault. But God, when he created all of us, he gave all of us a gift. We were born with a gift at birth. God ain't made nobody and gave them a gift. Now, the thing of it is, if you stop looking at your gift as running, jumping, singing, dancing, then you can get on with your life. But so many people are pursuing their passion instead of pursuing their gift. If you're not happy with your life, it's because you're not living in your gift and you are decided to pursue a passion. I like golf. But I can't win no money. I can't make the cut. I'm a 16 handicap. That's on a good day. I wanted to play in the NBA. When I was growing up, I wanted to play in the league. That was my goal, to play in the NBA. Well, I wasn't gifted at it, though. There's a couple of problems. If I ran at full speed, I didn't have the ball. And when I shot it, it ain't go in a lot of times. Now, you put that together, you can quit talking about the NBA. My gift was I had the ability, and I didn't know it at a young age, but I had the ability to take information instantly and transform it into comedy. I didn't know that was a gift. I just thought it was something I did. It got me in more trouble than I've ever, it has been the biggest curse, because when you're young, you don't know it's a gift, you're just doing it. Now, as I got older, this gift has transformed a little bit. I can take information and turn it into inspiration. I can take information and turn it into motivation. And the reason I'm here today is because my life has been jacked up. And I have learned and mastered something. I've mastered the principles of success. You can't tell me I can't. That's what I've done. I've mastered the principles of success. I know them by heart, inside out. You can't tell me nothing about it. Most of you have mastered the principles of success. But when you're talking to young people, you're talking to some people that ain't mastered that aspect yet. It's our job to teach young people the principles of success. They got to learn from your mistakes. See, I messed my life up so I could turn around and talk about it one day. I've been divorced twice. I've lost everything I own in my life twice. I lost it all again in 2005. At the end of 2005, I had $1,700. In 2005, I had made millions of dollars. I had $1,700 at the end of 2005. I've been homeless. I lived in a car for 3 years. I learned some principles, and I started applying them. So I'm a little bit different Christian than most people right here. I just happen to be a little bit more real about it. I don't really know where a lot of scriptures are in the Bible. I just happen to know what's in there and what ain't in there. And I had a lady the other day on my show. I had slipped up and cussed on one of the commercial breaks because I've been working on my cussing, but that's not really working for me. I have just come to the conclusion that I'm just going to be a cussing Christian. And I've been trying to get it and shake it, but it ain't working for me, man. And I accidentally cussed on the commercial break, and the lady, I could tell she was a little put off by it, and I didn't mean to. I don't want to be offensive to people, but, I was just talking naturally. And she just stood up and said, "I have a question for you, Mr. Harvey." She said, "So how's your walk going with Christ?" I thought about it. I said, well, I walk tall, I walk strong, with long strides and a slight limp. And that's how I walk. Now, if you ain't got no limp to your walk, congratulations. Mine has a slight limp to it. And every now and then, the flaws that I have come out. See, the difference between me and a lot of people, I happen to be famous. So my flaws have a microphone and a spotlight and the internet connected to it. You might can make your mistake at the house and don't nobody know nothing about it. But I got people watching me all day long. So what I've learned in this journey along the way of having my life as twisted as it was, I've learned the principles of success. I've learned how to get back up, how to fall and fail, get written off, say you ain't gonna ever be nothing. I've learned how to start over. I've learned how to take one heap of all my winnings and risk it on one turn or pitch and toss, lose and start again at my beginnings and never once breathe a word about my loss. Yeah, I've learned stuff like that. That's Rudyard Kipling, in case you didn't recognize that little poem. I stole that. That's when I was paying a little bit of attention in college. I didn't get the degree, but I was listening just a little bit. And when I talk to you, I try to get people to identify with these principles. The greatest thing that you could do in your life, I told the kids early, you know, we're at a college institute, so it kind of trips people out a little bit when I say this. And I tell them how important it is to get your education, yada, 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 because we're at a college, that's what I got to say. But then I turn right around and I tell them the truth, though. The most important thing in your life ain't your education. The most important thing in your life is your dream. See, the scripture says, a man without a dream or a vision shall perish. Don't say nothing about education. Now, you got to have one if you're going to climb to certain jobs and go into corporate ladder and be in banking and be in finance and all this stuff y'all doing. But it's the dream that propels you. It's your dream that propels you to get an education. You got to start exploring young people's dreams. You got to sit them down and ask them what they want to be, what they want to do with their life. Quit telling them you got to get this education. If they don't develop a reason to get an education, that's why we're struggling in public schools with 60% dropout rate, because the kids ain't got no dreams. Ain't nobody telling these kids that you can, what do you want to be? If you get a kid focused on the dream, you stop the dropout rate. Listen to me. You got to make your dream bigger than any fear you can possibly have. See, the reason I ain't scared of nothing is because what I want is so big I can't afford to be scared. I got to run the risk of failure because I got to get to that dream. That's what it is. We got to teach these young people to dream. You dreamed one day. You dreamed of walking across that stage and getting that diploma. That's how you got it. It ain't just happened. Look, man, we got to break this thing down real simple for people someday. Quit acting bougie like you've been rich all your life. Yeah, that's what killed me. You know, I come to these functions, everybody sit up, they lean back in their chair, they speak proper grammar, they get their nose up. You act like you had money all your life. I ain't had money all my life. I come into some money, but I've been scrapping and hustling and grinding and trying to get over, and so have you. But then you get here, and you don't have no memory of that, because now your life is fixed. And so now when you talk to young people, you don't talk to them from the perspective of you made mistakes too. You don't talk to young people like, hey, been there, done that. I smoked weed in college too, man. I know where you at. You don't want to tell them that. Hell, Clinton smoked weed. He the president of the United States. I'm going to probably say a lot of stuff. I already know that I'm not coming back next year. That's clear. I ain't got no problem. See, that's why I give my money wide to me. Because I already know I'm going to mess around and say something. I'm going to throw somebody into something. Because I see a couple of looks on y'all's face right now. But I don't really care. I'm out of here. I'm going to go get on this jet. I'm going to go down here. My wife down in Miami, man. I'm going to go sleep with my wife tonight. I don't care what y'all do. I was telling you about your gift. This is how you save yourself a lot of trouble. Now, this may apply to some adults in this room, maybe not. Your gift is the thing that you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. That's your God-given gift. You ain't got to trip on it, wonder about it. It's what you do better than anything else. Now, whether you've chosen to make that your life's work or not, that's your choice. But I got news for you. If you don't ever pursue that, you ain't gonna ever be happy. It's some unhappy people in this room today because there's some people in here doing what people expect them to do and doing what was required of them, and they just got locked into it. Now you got bills and a family, and you don't really want to pursue your dream. So now you got the job, and you just gonna ride it all the way out. And ain't nothing wrong with that. If your job is what you gifted at doing. This man is gonna retire this year, but he's been in the education of young people's minds. He's been shaping young people's minds for 30 years like that. That's what he was gifted to do. But if you're sitting up in here and you ain't happy and you in misery, it's because you ain't pursued your gift. And I'm telling them young people over there with them blue shirts on and them striped ties, find out what your gift is and pursue it with everything in you. Because ain't nothing worse than getting a degree and you don't even want it after you get it. Because a degree ain't nothing but a piece of paper hanging on a wall. Now, it signifies that you have the ability to complete a task, but your life is made up of what you do with it. Life is 10% what happens. It's 90% of what you do about it. You got to do something with your life, man, that makes your heart beat in the morning when you wake up. See, people ask me all the time, how you do all these jobs, Steve? Because I like all my jobs. You cut your radio on 240 times a year. I do a 4-hour live radio show. How you do that every morning? Well, the main reason is they got a nice check, but other than that, I wake up in the morning, I give people some inspiration, I play music, and I tell jokes. Okay, boom, I like doing that. Then I go to a talk show. I live in Chicago 8 months out the year, 34 weeks. I tape 180 talk shows in Chicago. How you do that every day? Because I love doing it. Then I go to Atlanta. I live in Atlanta, and in 9 weeks, I tape 200 episodes of Family Feud. Man, how you tape all them shows? Once again, they have a check attached to this. But I love what I do. If you cut your TV on, it's obvious that I love what I do. I'm always smiling because God has given me the life of my dreams because I'm living in the gift he gave me. If you live in your gift, man, it changes your life. Do something about your gift. Listen to me, I don't care what job you got now. If it's something that really burns on the inside of you, you ought to go do that. I don't care how old you are. How come you think Kentucky Fried Chicken, how come you think that man on the side, why you think he old? Because his recipe got discovered when he was 68. That ain't the picture of the Colonel when he was 35. He damn near 70. But he been frying chicken. He didn't just wake up and start frying chicken. He been frying chicken with this secret recipe for years. It took him a long time for it clicked, but he kept frying chicken, man, till he became the biggest chicken joint in the world. You can't go nowhere and don't see Kentucky Fried Chicken. Now, it ain't real chicken. But when he was living, it was real chicken, though. It really was chicken. Them was the actual parts. If you peel that skin off that Kentucky Fried Chicken, you're in for a surprise. It don't look nothing like that chicken breast is just a ball of meat. But he hit it. When is it too late to hit it? When is it really too late to hit the jackpot? When is it? When you're 60, that's too late, you don't want to be rich then? What, just 65, too late for you to be rich? When is it too late to hit it? Man, put some spark in your life. Have something to wake up about that make your heart beat in the morning. Have a joyous spirit when you wake up in the morning. Here's another principle of success. I'm going to tell you what rich people talk about all the time. You know what rich people talk about all the time? They talk about money all the time. Or they don't talk about too much else. Rich people talk about money all the time. The rich people in this room just put their head down. All the principles of success is in the Bible. See, a man is as he thinketh. So, what you think, excuse the grammar, but that's what you is. Don't think it make better sense? Bad grammar makes better sense sometimes. If a man is as he thinketh, then what you think is what you is. That make real good sense to me. see, yeah, I like to keep it where people remember stuff I say. So rich people, you know what they do? They talk about money. Now, when you talk about money around people, they get tight because they don't want to hear the money. Well, money is not everything, and money can't buy you happiness. They ain't got no money. Money might not buy you happiness, but it park you right in front of happy houses. You can get out, ring doorbell, see if happy home. There's nothing wrong with money. People, so many things have been said over the years. When rich people get together, they talk about money. They talk about business all the time. There's nothing wrong with that. See, we go to church and we learn the wrong thing. You know what messed me up, man? When I was little, I went to church in Cleveland, you know, and a preacher would always say, he says, hard for a rich man to get into the kingdom of heaven as it is for a camel to get through the eye of a needle. Now, me and the rest of the ignorant members, we thought that you was trying to take a needle with a sewing thread and push a camel through it. All the people in my church collectively decided they didn't want to be rich because they wanted to go to heaven. I was sitting there at 10-year-old. I wasn't really buying into this because I was trying to figure out how I was going to get this camel into this hole. Because I didn't know what they was talking about because I wanted to be rich. Because this poverty I was allergic to it. I itched all the time. I just came from being poor. You know, you just be digging in yourself sometimes. Because you're poor. Poverty is uncomfortable. First of the month come, your whole butt tighten up. You just like somebody squeezing lemon juice down the crack of your behind. Because it's the first of the month. All this stuff is due. Shot. That's your butt. Shot. Just tighten it up. Because you ain't got the money. Why would I not want no money? I live in the hood. I want out. I need money to get out. But at my church, they said, it's as hard for a rich man to get into the kingdom of heaven as it is for a camel to get through the eye of a needle. So I bought into that. I was about almost 38. I was in Hollywood. I was driving down the street. I ran up into Donnie McClurkin. He was coming out of a studio on Sunset. I was in the truck smoking a cigar. I saw Donnie. I said, hey, man, what's happening? He said, hey, Steve, man, this was one of the first years I had hosted Celebration of Gospel. And I was going to quit hosting Celebration of Gospel because I didn't like the gospel community because they didn't like me. You know, backstage, they be saying stuff like, I don't know why he is hosting our gospel show. He ain't saved. I don't know what y'all talking about. I'm here for the check. Let's be clear about this. I've been in church my whole life, but, you know, I ain't living no perfect life, and I wasn't, but, you know, that was my life at the time. And I was going to quit, and I was telling Donnie I was thinking about quitting. He said, man, why you going to quit? I was telling him, man, I said, man, I'm just confused right now, man. I said, I don't get it. I said, man, I'm thinking about going back to church, man, but, you know, I want to go to heaven, but, man, I'm finna start making this money, Donnie, and it just don't jive with Christianity. He said, what you mean? And I told him what the preacher, that it's hard for a man to get through the kingdom of heaven as it is for a camel through the eye of a needle. So Donnie looked at me a little confused because, you know, he a pastor. And I was just telling him, you know, but I'm trying to find a way to get the camel in the needle. He said, Steve, that's not what it means. I said, what does it mean? He says, in the Middle East, a needle is an arc that is stuck in the sand that looks like a wishbone on a chicken. And they have them to entryways sometimes. And when a camel approaches the needle, in order for the camel to get through the needle, he has to kneel and crawl through the needle. And then the camel gets back up. He said, that's what God meant. I said, Donnie, you mean they ain't talking about a sewing needle? He said, fool, you can't put a camel through a sewing needle. After that, I said, I got to go make me some money. I just humble myself before God like I'm going through the needle, and he ought to let me in. But I'm going in with some money, though. You know what I'm saying? It's I became friends with Oprah Winfrey because obvious reasons. We ain't gonna keep saying that, but she's a very successful woman. She's a very kind person. You know, everybody get a bad rap on the internet. You know, she thinks she did too. Well, you know, a lot of people shooting at her. The thing about haters, man, haters kick you when they down, and they throw at you when you're up. And they just do it all damn day. They're just haters. You got them on your job. You got them at your church. You got them. They just hate it. They just haters. Haters because they ain't got nothing else to do. They want to be you. They can't. So here come the hate. And I don't mind haters, long as they throwing, because I'm usually up. You can throw up at me. I don't address you. And I was talking to Oprah one time, and she said, I did a life class with her this past year, and she said, Steve, I never knew you had a vision board. She said, you believe in that? And this is the first time we had a serious conversation. I said, Oprah, how I'm not going to believe in that? Every successful person I know has a vision board, or they have their goals written down. You can't do it without writing it down. When you write it down, it's a symbol of faith. See, I was telling this story earlier about writing it down. You know, teacher, we were in the 6th grade, and asked us to write on a piece of paper. We came in from summer, what you want to be when you grow up. So everybody filled out the paper. You had to put your name on it, had to write this one thing in 1968. So I wrote, I want to be on TV. Because nobody had told me I couldn't. I was 10. My vision was wide open. So I wrote, I want to be on TV. She collected all the papers. She started going around the room, naming everybody's name, had everybody stand up. And she read what they wanted to be. Barbara wanted to be a nurse. Johnny wanted to be a basketball player. Robert wanted to own a gas station. Cindy wanted to be a doctor. She got to me, she waited last. Now, I had never gotten a gold star before, all of my years of school. And she asked me to stand. And when I stood, she said, little Stevie, come to the front of the class. Now I'm thinking to myself, this is it. This is the gold star moment. I've been waiting 10 years for this. I ain't never got a star before. This is the day. So I started walking to the front. I'm skinny. I got my brother's clothes on because we were poor. I got up there and she said, Steve, let me ask you something. What did you write on your paper? I said, I want to be on TV. She said, and why did you write that on your paper? I said, because that was our assignment for today. And then she said, what you write that on the paper for? Now I'm thinking to myself, judging by the tone of this conversation, this might not be the gold star moment I thought it was going to be. So I started cowering down. And she said, so why did you write it on the paper? And I said, because you asked us to. Voice is really softening. She said, do you know anybody on TV? I said, no, ma'am. Anybody in this school ever been on TV? I said, no, ma'am. Any of your relatives been on TV? I said, no, ma'am. She said, take this paper. I'm going to call your mama. When you go home, I'm going to tell her you being a smart aleck in this class. Now, you take this paper and you come back with something more believable on it. So she pinned a note on me, and I had to go home. My mama was waiting on me because she called the house. So my mother said, what you doing up at that school being a smart aleck? I said, Mama, I just did what the teacher told me to do. She read the note. She said, what you write this on your paper for? I said, because the lady asked me what I wanted to be. I want to be on TV. She said, I'm telling your daddy when you get home. Well, my father was the executioner. My mother was the warden, and he was the executioner. And I knew when he got home, I was going to get my ass whooped. So, excuse me, I'm sorry, that slipped out. I didn't mean to. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, Mayor. I was going to get my butt whipped. And so when my father came home, she told my father, look what Steve wrote on this paper. So he read the paper. He said, what's going on here? He said, Steve up at that school act like a smart ass. That teacher done asked him what he wanted to be, and he done put, I want to be on TV. My father read the paper. He said, what's wrong with that? I started thinking, uh-oh, a reprieve. So he said, boy, go in your room. I'll be in there in a minute. And I got my spankings in the room, so I went on in there getting ready. Him and my mother had an argument. My father came in the room. He said, boy, what you write this on your paper for? I said, because I want to be on TV. He said, what she want you to write on the paper? I said, like a basketball player or policeman. He said, put that on paper. Take it up to the school and give it to that dream-killing heifer. This was up. So I write it. He said, now take your paper. He said, before you go to bed tonight, now this is my father now with a third-grade education. My father was a sharecropper in Alabama. He said, read your paper every night before you go to bed. And when you wake up in the morning, read your paper before you go to school. Read your paper every day and read your paper every night. I took my paper up to the school and I turned it in. It took me till I was 38 years old. But I got on TV. If you turn your TV on today, Steve Harvey is on your TV somewhere every single day. The teacher has passed now, and I knew her up to about almost 10 years ago. And every year for Christmas, I sent her a flat screen TV. I just didn't want her to miss me. She would tell me sometimes, look, Stevie, every time I turn around, you send the TV, I got about 15 TVs. I will have to be honest with you, I'm giving these TVs away. I got so many TVs. I say, that's all right, Miss Bland, and I just wanted you to have enough. She said, you know, I always knew you was going to be something. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Because writing it down is in Habakkuk 2:2. It says, write the vision on tablets and make it plain. See, I ain't up here making up nothing. This has been written thousands of years ago. I told you I can't tell you about success without intertwining faith in there. So you don't think Steve up here making this up. I'm a little hood dude. I told my students the other day, I'm from the hood. I'm just a hood cat. You know, I grew up in West Virginia. I'm a farm boy. I did farming every summer. I went to school in Cleveland. I plowed on the field when I was 11 by myself. I was behind a mule named Kate. I've been doing all this here, man. I hustle and grind. But today, because of God's grace, I'm standing here. Y'all pay me money to come tell y'all what I did for free. That's crazy. Let me tell you something, man. Don't you know that however your life is, that it can be even more wonderful than it really is? And young people, do you know that whatever you write, that's what you're going to be? I was showing somebody my telephones, my iPhone. I got 2 iPhones. You cut them on, you cut my iPad on, you cut my laptop on, you cut every desktop I got in every office I got. The same vision board pop up. Oprah said, I didn't know you had a vision board. You got one. If Oprah got a vision board, why I ain't gonna have no vision board? What, I'm crazy? I've been studying successful people for a long time. They all do the same thing. They all got visions and dreams and goals. They all written down somewhere. They all wake up excited about their life. They all run out of hours in the day because they just can't get it all done and they can't wait for tomorrow. Now, if your life ain't like that, it's because you ain't living your life in the fullest, man. Now, whose problem is that? Man, go do something with your life. This ain't it for you. Go do something with your life. What did God create you for? On the real, man, you got to ask yourself that. Once again, I ain't no preacher, so excuse me when I talk like this, but I'm just be asking people. See, y'all cut your TV on and you see me. I'm trying to tell you how I got on that TV set. How I get a game show. What I'm doing with a game show. How I get a talk show. I don't even talk that good. My grandma, NBC, called me into the office one day talking about, Steve, we really want you to take a class. And I said, what kind of class? And it was hemming and hawing around. And NBC said, we'd like you to take a class, a speech class. I said, well, what I got to go somewhere? Yeah. He said, no, we want you to work on your grammar and everything. I said, for what? They said, because, you know, you're on national TV now. I said, man, I'm not taking no class. I'm going to be me. See, what I have, you can't teach in a class. See, where is the class on comedy? Where that course at? Who's the professor that teaches that? Who has a course on timing? Where's that course at? Who has the course on joke writing? Who has the course on stage presence? Who has the course on voice inflection? Where's the course on facial expression? That's what I do. That's what I do all day. What you finna teach me? And the dude that was talking to me, I probably make about 20 times more money than him. So I said, sir, I'm gonna ride this out the way I am. Now, if you got a problem with me, you can take me off of NBC, because there's a whole lot of networks that take this show right now because it's a hit. So I would strongly suggest, find something else to talk to me about, because I'm gonna talk like I talk. I'm gonna talk just like this him. I mean, the joke is, look, don't let what you don't have stop you from what you could have. That ain't got nothing to do with it. What do it matter how I sound, as long as you understand what I'm saying? You know, there's a lot of words people act like they don't remember no more, because you done got your education now, so you don't remember saying liable. You know, I liable to go down there when I get through. You don't remember saying that no more. You see, you know, Eno. Eno is another word you throw out a lot of times. Eno, E-N-N-O. See, there you ain't Eno. You ain't know. But when you talk, if you slow it down, that's how you talk. I just learned how to turn it into money. Why you got to change? Use the gift God gave you. That's all I do. I'm not going to let nobody take my gift from me and fix me up some other kind of way. Then they cancel my show. No, man, you're going to cancel my show, me being me. I'm going to do it the way God created me to be. Stop trying to fit into everybody's mode of who you ought to be, and start fitting into the mode of who you are and who you're supposed to be. My father was third grade education, man, most brilliant dude I ever know. Slick Harvey made me the man I am today. Bleed at about it. Man, my father, shit. My father was a sharecropper, man. Third grade education. My father's father was a slave till he was 12 years old. My grandfather was a slave. For me to be who I am today, that's grace. That's God's grace on my life. This man with this third grade education taught me more about getting over than anybody living. He taught me one thing that has kept me through everything. See, my mama was a Sunday school teacher, so she taught me faith. But my father was just a dog. And when I say that, I mean my father work ethic. Lord Jesus, my father worked harder than anybody. And I was telling the group earlier today, let me tell you something. There's people that's funnier than me. There's people that look better than me. There's people can act better than me. People can run faster than me. People bigger stars than me. But it ain't a soul living on this earth that can outwork me. You ain't here today that can outwork me. I'll bet you that. You can't out-hustle me. You can't outgrind me. You can't outwill me. My father made sure of that. He said, when I die, ain't nobody going to outwork you, man. Me and my brothers, we work like mules. You cut your TV on, I'm at work, man, because he gave that to me. I have a work ethic that you can't, I don't care who you are, you can't outwork me. I don't care who you are, I bet you can't. What you got? You do more, I do more. You put some more in, I put some more in. You still standing, I get back up. I stand with you. You gonna hit some more balls a day, I'm gonna hit some more balls a day. Whatever you do, you cannot outwork me. That's what he gave me. Man, I owe this dude everything I am today. See, I'm just talking to you about just getting over with what you got. Don't let people, man, get you over to worry you to death about what you don't have. Use what you got. Use what God give you. That's all you need. And God didn't put what you needed externally. You ain't got to look for it on the mountain or the bottom of the ocean or nothing like that. He put it inside you. The gift you got is internal. You quit looking for it. You can't go to school to find it. This is a gift. The gift is free. Saw a sign the other day, man, was so cold. Said the dream is free. The hustle is sold separately. Look, man, I know I talk real plain. Y'all probably ain't going, like I said, you know, this is it for me. I already know, you know, I ain't coming back. But you're going to hear the truth, though. You're going to hear the truth. I don't know. I don't really know what to say in what order. I just listen to what God tell me he want me to say. Now, everything I say ain't going to fit you. If it don't fit you, just sit still. It's coming. Maybe I'll say something that will fit you. I know some people in here that folded their arms and looking at me crazy. I ain't here for you. I'm really here from them people with them blue shirts on, with them red tags around their neck, that's got their whole life in front of them. That's what I really came down here for. Tell you the truth, I didn't even know y'all was coming. I'm going to just keep it real with you right here. I really didn't know y'all was coming. But I try to say stuff to people because, man, at whatever age you are, whatever position you are, you can be better. You have to be better. You got to do better. You can't stop where you at. You know why you can't? Because he woke you up this morning. And if he wakes you up, it's a sure sign that he ain't through with you yet. So if you get up in the morning, he still has a plan for you, and we got work to do. Like the mayor say, we got to do something for somebody else, man. You got to leave this place in better shape than when you was here. So I get emotional about this right here. So I talk, and my English ain't what yours is. Oh, man, look. Don't worry about how I'm saying. Listen to what I'm trying to say to you. Now, if you're going to get in your car and judge me when you get off, cool. When you get through judging me, when you go home, cut your damn TV on. There you go again. Very quickly, I want to help you with young people, especially young people. There are some what they call old wise sayings. And I want you to be very wary, be very watchful of old wise sayings. Because you got to think of who wrote the saying. Now, I'm going to give you three right quick. There's a thing that losers created. They're called statistics. And statistics are created to help justify somebody who failed. 1 out of every, 6 out of every. And then you get to looking around counting people. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, hell, that's me. 2 out of every 1, 2, 4 of us in here is 2, man. I must be. Don't listen to this. Every old wise saying ain't really wise. Stay away from statistics. They told me when I first got started in comedy, see, back then they said 1 in every 20,000 comedians make it to the Tonight Show. Sitting on the sofa with Johnny Carson was the measuring stick for all stand-ups. If you could get to that couch with Johnny Carson, your career was made. 1 in every 20,000 comedians get on the Tonight Show. So everybody back on the road back in 85, 86, the whole goal was to try to get to the Tonight Show. Get to the Tonight Show. Everybody. I sent letters. I sent tape. Everything. Nothing. No call. No calls. No call. Can I tell you something? I've never been on the Tonight Show. I ain't never been on it. I ain't never been asked. Saturday Night Live been on 40 years. On NBC. I'm on NBC. They've never asked me to come to Saturday Night Live. Not one time. King of Comedy. Never got invited to Saturday Night. Charles Barkley been on Saturday Night Live. One out of every 20,000. I ignored that because that statistic don't apply to me. Don't apply statistics to your life. Statistics are for losers. Ignore, ignore, ignore. Here's another one. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Oh, this is a very dangerous one, young people, because now don't put all your eggs in one basket. Well, that would depend on what your basket is made of, wouldn't it? If you got it in the right basket, you got to put all your eggs in one basket. How else you gonna make it? Success is an all-out assault. It's everything you got into one direction in order for it to be successful. You can't open up 6 businesses at the same time. You got to open up one, pour your all into that. You got to go to college to get a degree. You can't enroll in 6 colleges. You got to focus, man. Put all your eggs in one basket. Make your basket out of work, hard work, faith, prayer. Put all that in that basket, glue that thing together, and put them eggs in that basket so you can be what you want to be. Because you're not going to be successful if you don't put all your effort into one thing. You ain't going to make it, man. Success is difficult. The road to success is always under construction. It ain't ever easy. It ain't clear. It ain't open. You got to do that. And be wary of this one right here, though. Always have a plan B. Really? Let me tell you why I never have a plan B. See, do this so you'll have something to fall back on. Oh, you can go do that, but do this so you'll have something to fall back on. Let me tell you something. In order to really be successful, people who really got it going on, they focused on one thing. Bill Gates did Microsoft until he got plenty of money. Now, he can do anything he want to do, but he did Microsoft. He did Microsoft. You can believe that the dude that came up with Google, he was making Google. He made Google. They people made Yahoo. They did that till it turned into something, then they branched out. Plan B, in order to have a plan B, you have to take time away from plan A to prepare plan B. So when you take time off A, you're reducing the effort in your plan A. They asked me, but Steve, so has one of your plan A's ever failed? Yes. Yes, my plan A has failed. Did you have a plan B to fall back on? No, I did not. They said, well, damn, man, what'd you do? I got another plan A. I ain't never had nothing but the A plan. I make no preparation for failure. I ain't got no plan for B. I don't got B. I got A, man. I got A. I was going to tell these jokes until I turned them into a money-making venture. October 8th, 1985, I walked in Hilarity's Comedy Club. I won an amateur night for $50. I went to work the next day. I quit my job. My first wife said, this is ridiculous. We got these twins. You can't quit your job. I got to go. This is it. This is all I've been dreaming about. I see a way. A light bulb went on. Hey, man, when I won that night, I cried for an hour all the way home. I cried because it was like, man, God, I see it now. This is what I've been waiting on. I walked into one comedy club, won $50. Went to work next day selling Commonwealth life insurance, quit my job, making $675 a week. I made $50. The first month in comedy, I made $150. The first year in comedy, I made $3,000. My wife left me. I saw that coming. I saw that coming. I said, her and her mama, they made that joint decision together that every time I used to drive home, you ain't gonna ever be nothing. It took me years. I lost everything. I became homeless. I lived in a car for 3 years. But Lord have mercy, I just kept that plan A. I kept that plan A, man. I told these jokes. I took a gig for $125, $250. I drove 14 hours to make $175. Gas was way cheaper back then, so it made sense. I go out there and do the gig, man, sent whatever money I could home, so now I'm homeless, I can't do nothing. 3 years I lived in a car. Had an occasional hotel every now and then, but 3 years I lived in a car. You know what I kept doing? I kept telling them jokes. When my family members would catch me, Steve, come on home. I call home, ask for money. Steve, come home, get a real job. I said, no, I'm gonna stay with it. I'm gonna be all right. Can you wire me $50? Can you wire me $75? My brother said, don't ever call me no more, ask me for no more money. I ain't got nothing for you. You need to be a man and come home and get a real job. So I couldn't call nobody no more for help because they said they wasn't gonna help. So cool, I stayed out there. Look at me. And I ain't bragging. Look how God do though. God is amazing. If you keep the faith in the things that you cannot see, God got something for you. I ain't see this. I didn't see this when I was living in the car. I ain't see none of this. Man, you know, I'm an emotional dude. You know, I cry, man, because somebody asked me something. Steve, every time I look on TV, you crying. Let me tell you something. If you knew my trip, you cry too. Matter of fact, every time you see me, your ass ought to just bust out crying. For real, man. You ought to just say, damn, you did what, man? And just let it go. But I kept the faith. I relied on God's grace. I kept that plan A, and I'm standing here today. And I say to everybody, if you learn those principles of success, I don't care where your life is today, the life you got planned for yourself, the one God got mapped out, way better than the one you got planned for yourself. Thank y'all for having me. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.